How we doing, folks? This is Mike. I'm joined by Mike today. Mike, why not us?
Why not us?
Why not us? Okay, guys. So this is, we're going to do week 2 bets. I think that'll be most of the show. We're going to chatter and talk, and I think an ice cube just fell in my kitchen. Anyways, Mike, I want to start with this. We talked about it last week's episode, but I wanted to talk about it again when I saw the line for next week, because the Buccaneers are getting 7.5 points in Detroit, 1 p.m. game. What are your thoughts on that?
Everything tells me to take the over to
Sure.
high-powered offenses, but everything told me to take the over in the Lions and Rams game, and that sort of came close at the end, but never had a chance. As far as a winner of the game, the Lions are going to win the football game. I think they're going to win the football game easily. I think they're going to dominate. I think the Bucs played a bad Commanders team. They have a good offense. They might cover 7.5 late.
All right, so
But
you're not taking the Bucs.
absolutely not.
Wow.
Getting nowhere near them.
Are you serious?
Nowhere near them.
I led this episode because that's my lock of the week. That line makes no sense to me. Maybe I'm riding high on the Bucs right now. That line makes no sense. 7.5 points. They should have won that game in the playoffs in Detroit last year. And they looked awesome versus the Commanders. I know it was a bad team, but they looked like a polished football team. Probably, arguably the most of week 1. And
The sheep is
the sheep
here.
is the Lions.
He's a sheep.
The Lions
You're
are the
getting
sheep.
baited into this like everybody else.
Brother, I seem to remember beating you last week. I feel good about my picks right now. And the only thing that weirds me out about this game is because the line makes no sense. 7.5 is too much. That's a great Bucs team. And the Lions had some questions on a few drives. So
I can't wait for you to text me 2 minutes into the game. Like, what am I doing? This is awful.
I'm not asking him to win. I'm asking him to cover by a touchdown. And I think they'll do that. Give me the Bucs. Mike, since Baker, like, I saw this tweet. So since he had that moment, so we talked about it. He got cut by the Browns. He goes to the Panthers. Terrible Panthers team. People thought his career was over. Do you remember who picked him up after that?
The Rams.
The Rams did, because they had an injury. So they brought him in, and he started that week. It might have been like a COVID thing or something, but he started that week and won them the game. It was the last-second touchdown throw, right? Well, that touchdown throw, since then, he became the QB1 of the Rams that year. He then signed a 1-year deal with Tampa, which people forget he wasn't even the starter. It was our guy, Kyle Trask. He beat him in camp. No,
Yeah.
that was a legit battle. Like, people thought Kyle was, ask Bucs fans, they thought Kyle Trask was going to be the starter that year. So Baker comes in, he wins that. He takes that team to the playoff, wins a playoff game, could have won 2. And he's their franchise guy now. And too much Bucs stuff to start the show already, but that line screamed at me.
Fair. I like the Bucs. I like Baker Mayfield. I've always been a big Baker guy. I'm happy he's doing well. But the Lions are going to steamroll this team. Their defense is bad. Their whole secondary is banged up. They're not going to be able to stop the Lions' rushing game. And it's not even going to be close.
Can I read you some of the first-round QBs since Baker Mayfield was drafted?
If you would like.
I would. Let's see. So in that draft, we had Baker, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, Lamar Jackson at the end, right? Good draft, right? That was probably the best one we've had until we got to the Joe Burrow year. After that, Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins. That one was bad. Kyler, Jurdick's still out. Joe Burrow in 2020, Tua, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, and then Jalen Hurts, second round. Great QB draft.
Incredible.
Great QB draft. But after that, Trevor Lawrence. I still have my questions.
Everybody does.
Yeah. Like, not a surefire number 1 pick like we all thought. Same thing for Caleb Williams, potentially. Zach Wilson. Trey Lance, Cowboys starting quarterback week 4. Did they cut him? Is he still the backup?
He's our third string.
Didn't he have a bad preseason?
He did. We still have Cooper Rush. Don't forget about him.
Cooper Rush. What about not Danny DeVito? Ben DiNucci.
Ben DiNucci. I think he's in the XFL now.
Good for him. He's an XFL guy.
He is.
Justin Fields, Mac Jones, 2022, just Kenny Pickett. So good job, NFL, realizing that the 2022 quarterbacks were shit, except for the worst offensive franchise in the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2023, Bryce Young. Mike, I listed a lot of quarterbacks in between there before I got to CJ Stroud, which is, again, a surefire pick, Anthony Richardson. So I guess the point I'm trying to make there is like the Browns had one and they let it go. And, you know, that's like what, a 30% success rate with first round quarterbacks. Browns.
And then on top of that, they went out and signed another guy that they
Right.
thought was surefire.
Right.
And paid him the most money in the league, and he's terrible.
Yep. Yeah.
The Browns are a sad franchise.
I thought a lot about Deshaun Watson this week. I'm like, what happened? But really, I was looking back, like Bill O'Brien, what he did with that offense, he just made the Clemson offense. Because I remember having times on the Texans where I'd watch him in a playoff game. And this was when he was like MVP status. And I was like, dude, that guy, he can't throw a ball. Like he misses throws a lot. Like intermediate passes, 15 yards, no confidence. I was never confident it was making it into the hand. So like he's been like that, and I guess he fooled a lot of people.
I thought he was elite.
No, he was elite. Yeah. But I saw things where I was like, that's weird. And then sure enough, it translated to just any other offense, right?
So you're better than the Browns GM, basically. You saw things he
100%. 100%. Yes. The only GM I'm not better than in the NFL is Howie Roseman, which is why I have a lot to learn from him.
You think you gave your lock of the week.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to give my lock of the week. I was debating between two teams. I'll say I have a lock and an assistant lock of the week. But I've decided my lock of the week, I'm going to keep the same trend as last week, which is fade the New York Football Giants. Washington Commanders, -1.5 at home. Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders, steamroll, not even close. It's honestly disrespectful to them that they're only laying 1.5 points. Does it freak me out that so far this season, my two locks of the week have been the Vikings and the Commanders?
Mine's the Bucs.
It's better than the Vikings and the Commanders. But yeah, I don't see a way where the Giants win a game all season. And my lock of the week every single week may be whoever's playing the Giants.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that whatsoever. I also have the Commanders in there. Good pick. Yeah, so the line's -1.5 on that game. It's in New York, which is like the 1.5 is kind of the new 3 points for the home field advantage. Those teams aren't even at all.
No. Giants
are bad. Very
Is
bad.
it in New York?
I thought it was. I thought that's what I read. I might be wrong.
I think
there.
Washington's at home. Washington's at home.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, well, either way, they're favored by 1.5, which means they're that's what I mean. Okay. Yeah.
Which is disrespectful.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I did debate between another team that I will still be hammering.
Mm-hmm.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wait, I wanted to bring this game up. I'm going to the game. Yeah. All right. Okay. So you're taking the Steelers. Let's talk about it now. No, this is fun.
Yep.
Steelers in Denver. Afternoon game. Okay. Go ahead.
Steelers -3. Best defense in the league.
Come on.
TJ Watt is going to have 3 sacks, an interception, a forced fumble for a touchdown. Bo Nix in that offense is not going to be able to do anything. The Steelers' offense can't do anything either. But if they can somehow put up 15 points because they take over on the Broncos' 20-yard line and kick a field goal every drive, they win the football game. And I just don't see a way where the Broncos can do anything positive in this game.
Do the Steelers deserve to go 2-0 from 2 away games?
No, but that's Mike Tomlin.
Dude, Justin Fields looked terrible. I mean, they still won the game by 8 points.
Well, this week we get Russell Wilson, I think.
Do we?
If he's healthy.
And you like Russell Wilson in his return game to Denver?
No, I hate it. Wow, what a storyline.
You just hate me. I told you I was going to the game, and I'm riding the fucking Broncos here. I'm taking Broncos money line. I'm going to be hammered. I'm going to bring the good vibes. It's me and my dad, not David Smith. He's coming to, well, here's my weekend. Friday, get drunk. Saturday, drive up to Breckenridge for Oktoberfest.
Nice.
Which is sick, dude. That has your name all over it. You'd love that. Beer drinking in the mountains all day. It's great. You can wear a Leinenkugel, all that jazz.
Yeah.
And then Sunday morning, I drive back to Denver, and I'm going to Broncos Steelers. And, you brought up a lot of good points there, but I'm taking the Broncos for mainly the reason I said the Steelers don't deserve to go 2-0. I can't really envision that happening. And, it's going to be a 9-11 game, and I can't wait to be there. Actually, the last Broncos game I went to, it was the Eagles game a couple years ago, but the one before that, it was, I'd be impressed if you remember, Week 3, Sunday Night Football. It was the Niners visiting the Broncos. Russ was the QB, Jimmy Garoppolo was the QB, and the game was actually 10-9. I kid you not. Broncos won. They won that. I think that was like the second or third game of the Nate Hackett era.
Wow.
I got the Broncos. Yeah, I'll take the money line too because either of these teams could win the game. Sean Payton, Mike Tomlin, nice little head coach matchup. It'll be a cool game to go to. I'm excited.
I would argue if it's a cool game to go to.
I love football, dude. I tried inviting you because we talked about how we wanted to choose one random bad game to go to and just ride out. It could have been this one with the Broncos. So we're against each other in 2 picks now.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I feel way more confident in my 2 picks.
I think the next one we could be against each other with is tonight, Thursday Night Football. Miami at home versus Buffalo. Miami's getting 2.5 points. Giving 2.5 points.
You'll get there.
Michael, who wins the game?
I think we might be on the same page here. The Buffalo Bills win the football game. The Buffalo Bills win the football game with ease. Josh Allen has only lost to the Dolphins one time in his entire career. The Dolphins didn't look that great, and if they dig themselves a hole like they did in week 1, they're not going to be able to come back. The Bills are a team that can dig themselves a hole and come back from it like they did in week 1. The offense is still a great offense. It doesn't matter that they don't have all of these star players. They're going to put up points. They're going to walk into Miami, and it'll be a good game. It'll be a close game. I got 24-21 Buffalo Bills.
Wow. You even gave a score.
That's how confident I am. No, dude. 3 straight? You're going to be so broke.
What are you talking about? I'm better than you, dog. And I don't know why I took Miami. And I liked Miami a lot when I thought it was a Sunday game because Miami's a better team, I think. Still have questions, but I definitely have a lot of questions about the Bills. So I trusted the game plan and then putting it together on that game. And I didn't trust a, Northern New York team coming down to Miami and upsetting them, right, against a better team. The fact that it's Thursday night scares me a little bit more because it allows for the not as much game planning, the impromptu superhero plays, aka Josh Allen's, Josh Allen. But I'm sticking with Miami, and a lot of what it has to do with is you being the sheep because everyone's going to say that about the Bills, and they barely beat a Cardinals team. They're very light. I think they lost Milano again already. So, give me the Dolphins. I'm laying the points -2.5, and that's 3 games against each other so far.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I thought you would be on the Dolphins there. I thought
I was going to be on the Dolphins too. I was a big hater of the Bills going into the season because I thought their offense was going to take a huge step back, which it sort of did, but they still put up a shit ton of points against a mediocre Cardinals defense. I think they're going to be able to score more points than the Dolphins. The Dolphins' run game is going to struggle. A-Chain's a game-time decision. Mostert's already out. I like the Bills even more because you like the Dolphins. And the Bills are going to win the football game. Money line.
But I won the games we went against each other last week, so I don't know where this confidence is coming from. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're delusional. Let's move on.
You want to live in the past like that? That's cool, but I'm going to look ahead to this week.
Michael, you're a Cowboys fan. You're living in the past. I got games next. So where do you want to start? because I'll tell you right now, both the Cowboys and Eagles cover. I'm not gonna try and convince myself the Cowboys are gonna drop the ball against the Saints, and think a lot of my picks are just I'm fading what the public's gonna think. Saints, I don't know what the public would think about this game. Saints +7, that's a lot of points, and they looked good against the worst team in the NFL. Yeah, no, I don't see it. So I'm laying Cowboys there.
I agree. All over the Cowboys, hammering the spread, hammering the over, because I think they could cover that over themselves. The offense continues to roll. Home opener. Saints aren't good. They just beat the worst team in the NFL, which isn't impressive.
That's low.
It's an easy win for the Cowboys. They might do this bullshit where they sort of keep it close in the first half and then pull away in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think that happens. Derek Carr's a turnover machine. Our defense is a turnover machine. That creates the most insane turnover machine this side of the Mississippi has ever seen. And it's not even close.
Yeah. I hope I'm proven wrong, but yeah. No, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Cowboys win.
Okay. How does the Eagles game go?
Is that an afternoon game, the Cowboys game?
1 o'clock, actually, at home, which you don't get a lot in Dallas.
Ooh, wait. Pause. Maybe I do like the Saints.
Does the time of the game in a dome affect your opinion of how it goes?
Most definitely. Is it in New Orleans or Dallas?
Dallas.
A 1 o'clock game in Dallas feels weird to me.
You don't get that often.
Do you think Tom Brady will do that one too? No, there's a better game.
4 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the Eagles, same case. Kirk Cousins is coming to the link for the third year in a row on week 2. This time he's on the Falcons, and I don't care about the difference. If anything, I probably would like him more on the Vikings, because the Falcons are a mess and they have a lot to put together, and they're not going to be doing it in the link for a home opener on Nick Foles night, by the way. So I'm laying the 7 there, man. There's just no way the Vikings win that game. If either one of our teams lose, it's going to make for a good podcast, because neither of us are supposed to lose these games, let alone not cover the spread. So, I got the Birds. Better game from Jalen. I don't have much else. We're just better.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I'm not touching the game because I refuse to bet on the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm not touching the Cowboys either, but I would if I did.
Yeah, I'm not taking the Falcons. Kirk Cousins doesn't play well at nighttime.
Yeah.
And he's now on a new team where he didn't really play that well last week.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Falcons' defense is going to be interesting to see against a mediocre Eagles offense. Can they hold up?
That's not true, actually. But I am interested in that as well, because Jesse Bates and who else did they? Justin Simmons as their safeties. Those are some ball hawks. So if Jalen gets away with this game with 0 interceptions, I'm looking good, and I'm going to rub it in your face on Monday or Tuesday.
If you feel any kind of good after beating the Falcons at home,
I didn't say that. I said Jalen throwing no picks. I'll feel very good.
I feel like you should always feel good when your quarterback throws no picks, but that should be the goal every week, not just against a bad Falcons team.
You seem to always have excuses when your quarterback throws picks, though.
Just to get back to the Falcons, interestingly enough, did you see how much Michael Penix's Rookie of the Year line changed from not playing?
No way.
I think it went from plus 6,000 to plus 3,500 or something.
Wow. Cut in half.
Just because, I guess they think he's going to get onto the field at some point.
I don't think it's even because of that. I think it's because how bad the other rookie quarterbacks were. They were like, this guy can't be worse. If he's in the game, he's the front runner. What are Jaden Daniels' odds? Because if he's still plus money, if he's 3-1 still, I'm hammering that.
He's definitely plus money. It's been 1 week. They're not going to discredit Caleb Williams like that after, by the way, winning the football game.
He did win a football game.
He didn't win the football game. He just happened to be on the field for the part where the team wasn't playing.
Yeah. And good job, NFL fans, for realizing that he still sucked and not trying to reward him at all.
Yeah, maybe he switches up the nail polish this week, though. That could be the difference.
Yeah, I think we should. Here's a thought: get rid of the nail polish.
Oh,
All right. Cool. Next game. We're so going against each other on this one too. The Colts are visiting Green Bay, and the Packers are getting 3 points. This line shifted a good 8 points from the Jordan Love news, and I think we talked about it a little bit, Mike. But I'm gonna let you know right now, and just realize that all my picks are the same this week. I'm just thinking about what the public's gonna do. Big game from Anthony Richardson last week. The Colts almost beat the Texans. Jordan Love's out. Why would anyone bet the Packers in this game? So I got to do it. I'm taking the Packers to cover the points, the 3 points. And I also have seen trends in the past. And again, with Michael's trends that come out of my mouth, they could very easily not be trends, but they are in my mind. I do seem to remember, like, when a backup quarterback becomes the starter, that they're surprisingly good the first game. I know it's Malik Willis, and he is not a good quarterback, but there's no film on him, and there's we don't know how the game's going to go. The Colts don't know how the game is going to go. Whoever plays the Packers next week will cover the spread, and I'll bet that game. But time being, first home game, and listen, the Packers got to win at least one of these games with Malik Willis as the starter, and this should be one of them. I got the Packers.
You're wrong.
This is awesome. This is good.
This is incredible. This is completely unscripted. We discussed nothing, and we haven't been on the same. We haven't been on the same side of anything. I tried to convince myself to take the Packers at home because the Packers are a good team at home. They're hard to beat. They're a team like the Steelers or someone like that who's hard to beat, no matter who's on the field for them. My problem with the Packers is Malik Willis is really, really, really bad. Like, really bad. He was a second or third round pick, and they gave him a shot, and he didn't. He looked terrible. It was unbelievable. They gave him like 2 games, and then he was gone. And he's really bad. And the running game isn't incredible. The receivers aren't great enough to go one-on-one and win battles. The defense is pretty good, but not great. And the Colts can score points. It's going to be a close game. I don't love laying the 3 points with Indianapolis, but I will because I don't see a way where Malik Willis scores points.
I get it. Here's my thing about like week 2 in general, though, going off your points. It's like, I don't know if we can really weigh teams for what we saw last week. Like, we see it every year that it's like, oh, wait, week 1, like, wasn't their true formula, right? So I just don't want to weigh heavy on like whose offense looks like really good and not too much, right? And that's why I like taking a lot of these dogs. I also notice I'm taking a lot of home teams, so get worried about that, especially for home openers for a lot of these guys, right? So, yes, I love my picks, but I also hate them. Think my strategy is good this week, and I like it because I have home teams and I have fading the public, and you're a sheep.
You're going with this made-up strategy that you're making up on the spot.
No.
I'm going with football opinions based on teams.
Yeah, but you're an idiot.
Playing. We shall see.
I like my picks just as much as you do because you're on the opposite side. I hate my picks when we both like them. So don't bet on the Commanders. The Giants are going to win. Cool.
That's the only game we're together on, which is sad.
Besides our teams. Awesome. But yeah, I'm not going to bet. I don't think either of our teams. But
I'm hammering Cowboys.
Next game, also a weird line. Rams Cardinals in Arizona. Cardinals are like barely a point favorite. I didn't pick a team here. I couldn't. I just can't. I took the under because it's divisional. The Rams are banged up. I'm not sold on the Cards just being an explosive offense. So give me the under. I think this could be like a 13-10 game.
Interesting. I feel like these are 2 teams with not great defenses and quote unquote high-powered offenses would be their strength.
Yes, exactly.
Which makes me lean towards the over, which then makes me think that I want the under.
Correct. So glad we're on the same page.
I like your thinking there. Okay. We're on the same page there.
We are.
I picked a team.
Who'd you pick?
Who do you think I picked?
Did you pick the Rams?
No.
I was going to pick the Cardinals. I was going to do it too, dude.
No, I
I
hate
was
it
so
now.
close. I was so close. Why'd you pick them?
At home, -1 doesn't really make sense because from a neutral perspective, the Rams are probably the better team that
Uh-huh.
are a little more proven from last week.
The line doesn't make
I
sense.
It doesn't make sense. And my bold prediction of the week, Marvin Harrison for 100
Yes.
yards and a touchdown.
I like it.
He didn't get the ball last week. He was pissed. Kyler Murray came out and said it's not my job to give him the ball. That's all part of the game plan. They're thinking 3 steps ahead.
Yep.
Marvin Harrison is a dog. He's going to be a beast. He wins this game single-handedly.
Wow.
Cardinals, Cardinals, Cardinals.
All right, cool. I like that. I'll go on some Marvin Harrison props with you. Get him in fantasy too if you can now.
It's only up.
Weird week 1 start for him. Like I said on the last pod, he looked way too good in that jersey not to get the ball. So get him the ball, Kyler Murray, or else it becomes a you problem. Shorty.
It ain't me.
I met Kyler actually in Vegas.
Mm.
Yeah. I did the weird thing where I was like, yo, can I get a pick? And it was a really bad pick. And from then I think I'm just done asking people, like football players, for picks. I think I've reached the age. It's just like, come on. You don't need to do that. Because he was also like, okay, he was like 5 inches shorter than me. And I was like, that kind of felt a little weirder than I expected.
I'm too old for this.
Yeah. Yeah. No. My dad's always been that way too. He's like, it's weird for you to say hi to celebrities or like fangirl. And I was like, yeah, they're fucking famous. But now I kind of get it.
I think the most recent famous person I took a picture with was Blueface.
Interesting. Your job makes sense to take a lot of pictures with those people for sure.
Yeah, I saw Kourtney Kardashian a few weeks ago. I can't take a picture with them at work because it's not allowed. But
face
see
of the
a bunch
company.
of celebrities there.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll get one of them on the pod.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, let's get it happening. All right, next game, Sunday Night Football. Texans versus the Bears. I can't remember who's home and who's away, but
Texans are at home.
Texans are at home, and they're only given 6 points. I kind of thought that would be more. I'm taking the Texans.
I like the Texans. Everybody likes the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going against your strategy here by taking the Texans because I think the public's going to be all over the Texans. And I don't hate that pick. I think the Bears' defense is legit.
Yeah.
I think everyone is super high on the Texans' offense from last week, that they're not thinking about the defense that they're going to play and the defense that they just recently played. And the Texans still only beat the Colts by 2 points. I think the Colts are better than the Bears, but I think in prime time, under the lights, Caleb Williams can't be worse than he was last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will be taking the Bears because I'd like to sweat my dick off on Sunday night for no reason.
Did you have that one before, or are you just trying to keep going against me?
No, I was very conflicted. That was one where I was going to stay away. Yeah. And then you taking the Texans made me realize that the sheeps of America and the world are all over the Texans. And I'm not a sheep. Sometimes the sheep find food. Mm-hmm. But probably going to be one of these times where they do. But I'm not a sheep.
It's going to be some games. I feel very comfortable betting the Texans in this game. Very, very comfortable.
I feel awful betting the Bears.
Yeah, like comfy. I want to be comfy on a Sunday night. I just watched a lot of football, put in a lot of hard work of drinking beer all weekend. Like I deserve to be very comfortable on my couch and watch the better quarterback, the better team, the better coach at home. Only win by 6 points. I like that.
It would just suck to be hungover, take a shower, put on some comfortable clothes, a sweater and some sweatpants. Suddenly you forget to put deodorant on and it's tied at halftime and you're sweating. You are sweating in those clothes. It is not comfortable on the couch. You can't put a blanket on because you are sweating on Sunday night, dreading waking up on Monday going to work.
No.
It's a possibility.
It is possible, Michael. Everything we talk about is possible. Collinsworth that game is going to have a game. He's just going to be all over Caleb Williams when he has like his 6th incompletion on 8 passes. Oh, Mike, yeah, look at this guy, how he threw the ball out of the pocket. I know it wasn't completed, but when he puts it together, I mean, we're talking about another real talent. Caleb, it's just going to be one of those. So if we get that from Collinsworth, and I am going to bet the Texans, I'm going to have a rough night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and those broadcasters, I don't know where this podcast takes me, but at some point this podcast gets you to be a broadcaster on TV.
I don't know. Yeah. I think I'd be decent. I think I'd be pretty good at it. I'd be a good play-by-play guy. Yeah. It's all just acting and performing, and that's just life. You're this is acting in some way, right? I mean,
you act like the Eagles have a chance this season.
All right, next game. I hate
what do we got?
I hate this pick so much. I hate it. The Bengals are 5-point underdogs against the Chiefs in Kansas City. Line's way too low. Too low. It's I think it just went up to 5.5. Like I just checked to make sure. So it'll probably end at like 6.5 or 6. I'm taking the Chiefs. Just kidding. I'm taking the Bengals.
No.
I'm taking the Bengals. Yeah. So listen, everyone's going to be on the Chiefs, right? The Bengals had a very, very bad game, and I'm doing it one more time. I'm betting on the Bengals one more time, and they have to prove me and a lot of people wrong to win this game or probably even cover, right? And then if they lose this, they don't cover, I'm out. Done with the Bengals. They're not making the playoffs. They're not a good team, but this is it. And they got to win this, right? And we see this a lot, like an 0-1 team versus a 1-0 team. It was going to be a good matchup at first. Now people have their questions. Oh, wait, it's still a close game. So that's why I took the Bengals, and I hate it.
Yeah, I looked at this game for a while because it's on paper one of the best games of the slate. I agree. I think the Chiefs should be laying more points based on what happened last week for both teams. Mm-hmm. I am going to have some discipline and not touch this game. I am going to start a no bet list and welcome on the Bengals as the first team of the I will not bet for or against you because you guys make no sense and I want nothing to do with you list. So welcome, Cincinnati Bengals, to the I'm afraid of you.
I had a couple of those games on there too, and I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what they are because I didn't write them down, so try and help me out. Okay, staying away. Smart man. Good job, because I'm not, and I'm betting the Bengals.
Come on, Joe. If I was to bet, I would definitely lay the points and take the Chiefs.
Really?
And it might happen by Sunday. They might hop right off that list somehow.
What happened to you and me? We like finding teams that like nobody's on, that like it makes no sense why the line's that way. Like we like betting those teams.
Come join the Bears.
The Bears do fit that mold. Yes, they do. You know who else fits that mold? Panthers. They're getting 7 points at home against the Chargers. I saw a stat on Twitter. It was like if a team loses by a set amount in week 1, the next week they're like 48-18 against the spread, and it was like there's one game that fits the mold, and it was like Panthers, and I was like, oh, damn it. But I'm not betting on teams here. This was a lot of the trends of my pick. I'm betting on markets and I'm betting on spread, and there's one side that I like more to this game, and it does happen to be the team from Carolina that stinks. I hate my life. Panthers +7. Holy crap. What am I doing?
I can't do it. I did it last week.
I'm proud of you. And this is sad.
Another home team. I'd like to hop on that. I'd like to hop on the Panthers wagon. It's just you and me. If it is, there's nobody else on the wagon. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, let's do it. You want to do it?
They're so bad.
Moneyline? Jim Harbaugh? People are like, whoa. Too high?
If the Panthers can score a touchdown first, I love the Chargers live line at -3. I'll give you that.
I'll take that. Okay.
Pre-game, can't.
That's what we do,
I like J.K. Dobbins to have a field day.
I hope. I hope I drafted him in a lot of leagues. How'd your fantasy teams do? Everyone was asking.
Yeah, I forgot to make a post about that because everyone was wondering. I think I went 3-1. The work league mopped the floor with the
Nice.
GM, which was hard to talk shit to. Yeah. With our buddies, the league that you want to get in that you're still not in.
Okay, I was in it. I was in it.
You were in it. Pookie and I pulled out the victory because Christian McCaffrey couldn't play.
Nice.
On
I
Monday Night
had
Football.
one of those too.
So that was pretty sick. And then went 1-1 in my other 2 leagues. We beat Liam Reed and Tim Yee.
Nice. Well, congrats. Yeah, the McCaffrey thing, like you could tell which fantasy leagues are more serious and which not from the group chats that responded to the whole thing. Holy shit, my dad's like legacy league that he's been in for 26 years. Those guys write books. They are committed. And so I ask a question. I'm like, oh, because they added something stupid. It was like the top 5 teams get an extra win if you won in scoring every week. I'm like, that's stupid. What are you guys doing? So I asked, I'm like, what is this about? They're like, read in the messages. I'm like, you guys just published 4 books. It's 2 p.m. on a Thursday. Stop. But yeah, so Panthers plus
Good
7.
to know that we'll be like that one day, and it doesn't have to change.
Dude, are we going to be sad?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't plan on being sad.
No, we're going to have like cool like uncle cookouts where we're just watching football and tossing the rock and getting way too drunk in front of our wives' friends. Like, yeah, those will be the days.
That sounds awesome. Like a little bit of a beer belly, but not too bad.
Yeah, right. And then we're like, all right, guys, we'll be back in an hour. And then we go film the podcast. And we're like, fuck our wives. They're fucking the Panthers.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's all I had for games on the NFL slate. And I got some college ones. But what else did you have?
Ravens -9 at home to the Raiders. Seems like a game that the Raiders could cover late. But, I mean, the Raiders are bad. Ravens are good.
Mm-hmm.
Ravens need a win home. And it's going to happen.
And you stayed away from the Chargers game, yeah?
I am staying away from the Chargers game.
Yeah, I'm staying away from this one. I could have done the thing I've been doing all week with the Raiders, but I don't want to.
Cool. Respect. Also, you're a loser because I have a winner. You should just hop on with me. Just to pull up the rest of the slate.
Yeah,
we've got
Cleveland.
Brown. Yeah. Wow, we're both saying the same game. That's awesome.
At Jacksonville, you're staying off?
Yeah, just like not really a cool game. Not a game I want to watch. There's a lot of games on Sunday at 1 o'clock that I'm interested in, and I don't want to waste my time on that one.
It'll be, I guess, Deshaun Watson meter. I'm also Doug Peterson's on a little bit of a hot seat. Like
Doug
more
Peterson,
so
Trevor
than
Lawrence,
people realize.
that whole franchise.
Yeah, they gotta put some shit. And they looked good last week. And then they had the Travis Etienne fumbled on the 1 yard line. And then I think right after Tyreek had his like 80-yard touchdown, that was like a 14-point swing right there. They would have put the game to bed. So they looked good, but you can't lose those games, Doug. So figure it out. Niners at Vikings. Niners are 6.5-point favorites. Yeah, I'm staying away too. But Sam Darnold revenge game.
I like Sam Darnold a lot. I like the Vikings a lot. I can't take them here because the 49ers defense is going to absolutely shut them down.
Yeah.
I think I like the 49ers -6, but not sure. So I'm not going to touch it.
Staying away. Cool. You touched on Raiders-Ravens. I think the last one that we haven't touched, or there's 2 more. Seahawks at Patriots. Patriots are 3.5-point underdogs, and another game I don't plan on watching.
Agreed. I'm just curious, if you had to pick a team, who would you pick? Because that impacts if I make a pick or not.
The Seahawks.
Give me the Patriots +3.5. Write it down right now.
I'm writing it down. Okay.
If you said Patriots, I wouldn't have touched it. Because you said Seahawks, give me Patriots.
I figured it would be the opposite. If I said Patriots, you'd be like, give me the fucking Seahawks.
No. Seahawks aren't that good.
Seahawks.
Patriots. Patriots are the Patriots. And
yeah, it's in New England.
Brissett.
Yeah, letdown game. For sure.
Gerard Mayo told him he was going to ball last week, and he didn't. So he must be due to ball this week.
Jacoby Brissett didn't ball?
No, he played a very mediocre game.
I was going to say, he wasn't
won.
on red zone a lot for interceptions, so it must have been D's.
He didn't throw an interception. That was probably the highlight of his day.
Nice. Fire. Well, shout out to Jacoby Brissett. And then the last game was Jets at Titans. Man, those are 3 bad games that we stayed away from. Yeah. Jets are also 3.5-point favorites in that one.
I think, once again, if I had to take a team, I would take the Titans. But I would much rather wake up on Sunday morning and put mayo in my coffee than pick a team in that game. Yeah,
100%. And I would also pick the Titans in that game because 3.5 seems a little bit much for the Jets to go away. And the Titans didn't look terrible, and they have talent. So, Jets can't start 0-2, though. That wouldn't be good.
No, it wouldn't.
Week 2 is fun because, 0-2 is ooh. And then, week 3 is loser leaves town, you know? Cool. That was NFL. Let's start college with the Gators because they got A&M coming to the Swamp, a 3:30 game just like Miami, and the same spread too. It's, I believe, Texas A&M is favored by 2.5 points. So
3.5.
3.5 now. Okay, Mike, you want to hear my thoughts?
I'd love your thoughts.
We have to bet the Gators. We have to. It's because this is the Miami game, and it's almost kind of rolls over to the Texas A&M game now. If they lose this, dunzo. Because you could argue this Texas A&M game is the winnable hard game on their schedule, even though Texas A&M isn't even ranked anymore, and there's so many questions about them, right? But like I said, same spread as that Miami team that was much better, and it's kind of like how I am with the Bengals this week. Gators lose this, it's really, really over. So give me the Gators, and it's A&M, and we hate A&M. Do we know if Lagway's starting, or is this going to be a Mertz game?
The most recent report I heard was Napier said he's going to feature both of them, which to me sounds like Graham Mertz is back and DJ Lagway will get a few really stupid 3rd and 2 plays where he runs the ball.
Yeah, and they did that with Richardson and Emery, and it didn't make sense then, but I could see it because Richardson is a powerful carrier of the ball. I don't see that in Lagway. He's more of a scrambler, right? That can run. And if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback.
See, I think it might work slightly better because he can throw the ball. When they put Anthony Richardson in the game, or when they used to do it with Emory Jones when he was the backup to Trask, you knew that they were running the ball. Yeah. Now you put Lagway in the game, you think that they're running the ball with him, but he can throw the ball. Yeah. Just as good, if not better, than Graham Mertz. So I completely agree with you. 2 quarterbacks is 0 quarterbacks, and Lagway is going to touch the field for less than 10% of the plays. It's back to Mertz. That's what scares me. Yeah. Is this team lost badly to Miami, then won a dominant game against Samford. I don't think the players realize how big of a difference in quality of win that is compared to a Miami team. Yeah. I think they're fired up that they dumped on another team at home. Now they're still at home and back with the quarterback where they didn't do shit in week 1. Are the players still behind Mertz? If I was a player, I'd be all in on Lagway, and I'd be kind of pissed off that this other guy has to go back onto the field. Now, he was their boy last year, but I'm nervous about that aspect of the Gators. I'm hoping that they rally around the win in general and support whoever steps under center. And therefore, I will also be taking the Gators on the money line because I think they need to win it as well. Yeah. I agree with you that the season is probably over and Billy Napier is a game or 2 away from getting fired if they don't at least put a competitive performance in this week.
Yep. And I'd like to think that whoever our quarterback is better than the A&M quarterback. Just score 24 points and then play a smart game. Don't turn the ball over. Come out with a nice game plan. Yeah, come out with juice, right? But also just be the smarter team because you're at home. And, man, this could really be your, actual good Florida crowd for a while if you lose this game. So I think we're both on the same page. One more time. Let's hope for the best, right?
Yep.
Go Gators.
Go Gators.
Go Gators.
I don't feel great,
I
but
hate
by the
A&M.
time Saturday rolls around, I'll feel pretty damn good about it.
Sure. 3:30 game. Love that slot for the Gators. I hate A&M. Hate A&M. Stop laughing at my time slots, dude. It's just how my brain
time slots
works.
and the broadcasters, they just get to me.
It influences the game. But tomorrow night, maybe the best game of the weekend. It's not the craziest weekend. Arizona is getting 7.5 points at home. It is at home versus Kansas State.
I believe it's at Kansas State.
All right, it's at Kansas State. I suck at that too. But 7.5 points. It was 7 yesterday, and I checked again. I love Arizona in this spot because Kansas State is coming off a burner against that Oklahoma State team. They're tired. 7.5 points is a lot. That Arizona team can score points left and right. They're an electric offense. So Kansas State's going to have to keep up with that, right? And their defense is going to get tired. Second half over comes to mind, right? So I'm laying the points with Arizona. I don't feel comfortable about Kansas State pulling ahead for 7 points after the game they had last week.
I love it.
Cool. I figured
Everything
you would.
Screams Arizona, high-powered offense. Kansas State barely won last week. They barely won the week before. I absolutely love everything about Arizona. I'm going to pull a page out of your book here, though. You think I'm going to Arizona, which is awesome.
Oh.
I did really well there at building that up.
Wow.
I need to keep doing that in the future. You know what turns me off about this game?
What?
That it's a Friday night game.
Yeah.
The time slot. When was the last time that you remember Arizona being in a primetime game that the whole nation is watching?
I don't know. Friday just makes sense for them though, and Kansas State, I can't see it.
The game doesn't make sense. I lean Arizona.
I think that's dumb on your part. I actually just think Arizona's a lock to cover 7 points.
I'm going to stick with Arizona. I'm going to trust you on this one because the time slot thing is really stupid. I just went through a big roller coaster in my head there. I'm now super confused and I might flip-flop by the time the game rolls around.
You can't be dramatic if you're just going to not be dramatic.
I like Arizona. I do. Okay. I liked them before the season. I like their offense.
All right.
It's just like, when was the last time you saw them on TV? Can't remember the last time I watched an Arizona football game.
I get it. I'd be way more worried if this game was a noon slot in Kansas State on Saturday, because that's like a noon slot Saturday crowd, right?
All right, give me the over in Arizona and a teaser. How about that?
Yeah, love it. I love that. I mean, they're covering 14 points.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's rip through the rest. I had Missouri covering 16 points against Boston College in Mizzou. You're nodding your head. Yes. I think we're both on the same page. Like, Boston College had a...
I like us being on the same page for college football because we did really good last week. I'm going to knock on some wood right now, but I feel way better about Arizona. I love Missouri. Florida's awesome. Give me the rest of the picks you like. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, no, our college football picks were really, really good last week. We had some good ones. I think we only missed like the Alabama spread, which also could have hit. So yeah, our college football was on. You know who else has been on in college football?
Ole Miss.
The MAC. The MAC is back, and Toledo is getting 12 points against Mississippi State, who absolutely blows. So I don't know a lick about Toledo football, but I know the MAC has been surprising some people. I like Toledo to cover the spread and give me some of the money line as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I didn't look into that game at all, so I can't really give you a take at all, but I agree. Mississippi State does suck. And Toledo's got a cool mascot, right? Like the zippers or something. Yeah,
or a cool field. I remember, like, they got like the arrow or some. Yeah.
All right, give me Toledo,
Ohio, baby. Represent. Cool. One last college game I had, Mike. Ball State, also a MAC team, and their money line is plus 4,000, and they're going to beat the U.
Wow.
No, they're not. But Ball State.
Can they cover?
They can cover.
Spread?
I think it's like 35.
Okay. My coworker, shout out Helen, a fellow catering manager with me at Capital One Arena, graduated from Ball State.
I've never met someone that went or was associated with Ball State whatsoever.
No, me neither. But go Ball State and
go Helen.
Fuck the U. So
can you ask Helen who she thinks is going to win this game tomorrow?
I will do that, and I'll let you know.
And follow-up question, can you ask Ellen if she knows one player on Ball State?
Yeah, that one I'm less confident in. She did join the Fantasy Football League, the Work Fantasy Football League.
Nice.
She calls her dad her GM because he made the picks for her.
Cool. Nice.
But she won in week 1. I think she put up 140 points or something.
Yeah, she sounds like Stephen Jones. That's cool. Yeah.
All right, Ball State, let's go.
And Helen's your shout out this week, Mike.
Yeah, she's gonna be excited.
Great. So we got some picks. We're going against each other on a lot of things. Last thing I just wanted to bring up, college football related. Did you see that Deion Sanders? He asked the University of Colorado to, instead of playing the fight song when the offense comes out, to play Shedeur Sanders' rap song.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
But he's the worst.
Yeah, I'm not liking him at all. Who does like? Yeah, I mean, it's just not. You know those guys, and it's just like, we could even talk if we wanted to get political. Like, there's a lot of people in the world that's like, stop talking, please. It'll help. You know, like, we like you. We do. We like what you stand for, but please stop talking. You know?
Yeah, he just digs himself these holes.
Yeah, and he's awesome. It's Deion Sanders. He's like one of the best of all time. And he did this cool thing and went to Colorado with his son. Like, it's supposed to be this cool story, and he makes it hateable. And it's things like
Very
that.
hateable.
Don't do that. Play my songs instead. No.
On the other side of things, though, cool story coming out of college football. Everyone's giving shit to the Nebraska quarterback, who's the Patrick Mahomes wannabe.
Yeah.
He looks pretty fucking good, by the way, but I do hate him because he tries to be like Patrick Mahomes. And in an interview, they said, why do you wear number 15? Is it because you want to be like Patrick Mahomes? And he said, no, I wear number 15 for Tim Tebow.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Good for him.
Did not see that coming, but go Gators.
He should have said that from the get-go because people are just trying to associate him with Patrick Mahomes. But if he came out and was like, no, guys, I'm a combination of Tim Tebow and Patrick Mahomes, then that's my guy. That's the greatest quarterback ever.
He's now my guy.
Yeah.
He's my guy.
All right, Dylan Raiola. And so he's getting hate. We'll be on the other side of the hate. I like you, Dylan Raiola. And you beat the shit out of Deion Sanders. So props there.
One other game I wanted to bring up before we wrap up
Let's do it.
I will once again be boots on the ground at University of Virginia, and they are hosting the Maryland Terrapins.
Nice.
The spread is Maryland -3. Virginia is +120 on the money line.
Okay.
A big rivalry. They're only about 2.5 hours apart from each other. Mm-hmm. Expecting one of the largest crowds that University of Virginia has had in years. Mm-hmm. Which is why they called in a bunch of people for support like myself to work the game. And I faded Virginia week 1 because they were really bad last year. And they looked awesome against a really bad Richmond team. So I'm excited for them to let me down again. Virginia wins a big rivalry game at home. 8 p.m. game. Can't remember the last time Virginia had an 8 p.m. game. Probably going to be on like the ACC network, but... That'll be cool.
Count me in. The new Pac-12.
Virginia Cavaliers.
Okay, go UVA. Big UVA guys. We've talked a lot about them, more than any other podcast.
By far.
Cool, Mike. Well, have fun at UVA. I will be at the Broncos-Steelers game. We're going to win money, except for you on Sunday. Go Eagles, go Birds. We'll talk fourth quarter of the game on Monday night, and we'll get a pod out. And who knows, maybe we got a big upset for one of our teams, or maybe we keep rolling and we can talk about who lost money. But thank you all for tuning in. This was the Why Not Us podcast, and these were our Why Not Us locks of the week. Mike, why not us?
Why not us?
Peace, guys.